Alright guys, so as promised today we'll be working on my trading bot, which is a little bit different from what we usually do. Usually we're working on web projects and stuff, and quick reminder, if you do need something like that done, your web project, crypto project, email is down below, reach out to me and my team will get it done for you. I'm also doing this recording a little bit impromptu, so you might see my dog running across, or my girlfriend like running across, so hopefully it doesn't disturb the recording too much. But today we'll just be kind of winging it. I said for a long time I'd show like my trading bot and my code and some of that stuff, kind of like working on those things a bit more into the channel, because that's like what I do most. I spend a lot of the time doing these days. And so yeah, let's without further ado, let's just get right into it. Um, all right, so some backstory, a bit of backstory before we get into this. Yeah, I mean, so this is, I think, my second trading bot. So I mean, it's a bit of a new process still, but we make some headway. Our first trading bot actually made some profit, so we're kind of like just reiterating on the process, kind of like um, taking it a step at a time. Right now we do have some code work, we do have some code running, and the uh, the code we'll be working on is here. Right now I'll be refining the test. So quickly, if you don't know how a trading bot works, typically you're coming up with a strategy that the bot should trade, and then you're kind of like back testing that strategy on like previous data, seeing if that can validate your assumptions to some extent, and so hopefully that can help you make money in the future, or you know um, get a system that works and invests your money. Um, just to give you an example real quick, this is I have a kind of huge database now. You'll see multiple trades in here from different strategies I test, and obviously when I'm testing, I'm not using like too much money here, because I like to test in the real market. I don't like to test with paper money, because I just feel like when you're there might be some, I don't want there to be anything different. So just a quick sample here. I want to show the whole thing. You'll see here there are some trades here from particularly bot one with like we were just taking some shit. I totally forgot what the fuck I was talking about. I just totally forgot like mid sentence. It's kind of like winging it, but yeah, typically you're like it's running trades and you're like looking at data and um, hoping that it goes good. So for example, here is one that I had running for a little while here. It had over a couple hundred trades on it, and it was using data that we had kind of collected before, and it didn't go, so it didn't go terrible. So we're kind of just iterating on the process here. So you can see here some wins, some losses, and it's trading different things with different size. And I think at the end of the day here, um, we end up making like 4 grand or some 4 or 5 grand, and it was up more, and then um, hit a little bit of a battery. Don't mind, yep, that's just me formulating a query, but you can see your 92 trades, so that's not insignificant for a sample size, and it making profit. So and so that's not nothing. All right, so when we're testing this year, I like to use like real data, but right now I'm kind of like still building up the back test for this one. For this one, I think I probably won't be able to show like the whole process from this one. I'll try to show like as much as the code running as I can. Kind of like what I'm doing with my thought process, but it kind of is just to give you guys an introduction to like what I'm doing, what I'm working on, as you see like more videos and stuff like that come out on the channel. But just to give an idea for like this one right now, I already built out a little bit of a test here, kind of just to like test, across some data, and you can see we have some data here with some wins, some losses, and it's not a bad track record right here. This I think is, you can see, this is an intraday algorithm, meaning it's trading multiple times a day, which I like, which I wanted to do. And as you can see here, it has almost a double win loss ratio. It's not quite double, so that's pretty good. Um, That's I think 65, 60 something. I can do the math real quick. So it's it's a roughly 2 to 1 like win loss ratio. I'm not gonna be able to show everything here or explain it super in depth because I want to get into the meat of the code. But this is a good decent winning percentage here for a pattern above 50%, which if you know anything about trading, anything above 50% is like godlike, as then you can you're past that point of break even, and it's just about like improving things and like adjusting your bet sizes so that it's can be profitable. And I just heard my girlfriend like walking, so she may come surprise us on the channel like real quick. But or my dog may run and lick my foot, but never mind that. Anyways, let's get into the code. The code we have right here. So what I'm doing with this, oh, and actually you can see here I have one of my tests going. You can see here, this bot here kind of sleep. As you can see, it lost that trade today, got stopped out. So you'll see that it will win, lose, some win, lose, and that sort of thing. Your hope is that at the end of the day you make money. Hey, I'm making a video just that you know. Okay, so do you hear me? Okay. Yeah, so give a shout out, just in case she decides to, ask me about my social security number or something like that. But you win, lose. It lost today, so that's pretty normal. But I'm testing it because you always have to kind of like forward test these things. This is a different one that is I have running now. I'm testing this one right here is kind of like the one I'm mainly focused on right now. So hopefully we can get something done. What's troubling me with this one, I was forward testing it a bit. I call it like one. So when my dog walk past, I have to be careful. He loves to lick my foot. It's not exactly my like crowning moments. But I call it like 7, and I have a little bit of it like test going here. What concerns me is that during real life testing, it didn't look as pretty as it looked in the algorithms. I don't know what it was. I think maybe I made a mistake in the code, or there was something wrong with my test. I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm just bringing you guys in like right in the middle. Let me see some resources here by killing that. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. So this is kind of like what a back test look like. You kind of like pull in some data from somewhere. Just got some data from Binance. You kind of like write your test criteria. This is one is a bit more media, I guess, but not too big. And you're kind of just calculating like what would happen if your entry criteria are like your entry criteria are met, and then if they're met, like how would that trade go for you? You're kind of just testing on historical data to see like what would happen. And yeah, so right now my main concern, and again, forgiveness guys, I'm not really used to always like working on talking, so if I get silence because I'm like focused, but is that this sometimes is not lining up with what I see, and I have to know why. So the first thing I'm gonna do really is I'm gonna check like actually what I did see during the live testing, which I can get by querying the database. And again, guys, if you want something like this, anything like this, like a trading bot, website trading bot, stuff like this, don't just email down below. Reach out to me and my guys. I'll have either me or one of my guys will take care of it for you. Make sure it gets done. Yeah, but no compete. You don't have to worry about that. My guys are super professional. We just kind of, like spit out code for you. So in case you're not a coder or something, we can get it all done for you. But yeah, right now we're kind of just looking through this. All right, so right now what I want to do is I want to, like I said, this test here is pretty, and if I was getting these results during live testing, I would be happy. I figure the reason why I'm not is because I made some mistakes somewhere in this test, which is possible because I was trying to do it pretty quickly. But I just want to make sure. I think it wasn't, I'm looking as pretty as I like. So first thing I'm gonna do is keyboard is also a little bit fucked up because I didn't use it in such a long time. I was using my Bluetooth keyboard, so you may see buttons not wanting to press here. Give me H. What the fuck? Press. 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 What the fuck? Alright, now seriously, what the fuck? I think it was just rusty because, like, I had it. I wasn't using it, but it usually presses when I hold on to it for a while, so I figure it will come back. There we go. I need to buy a new keyboard, I guess. I guess this keyboard's dying, or it just has dust. I think it's just dust, because see there, it's I was away, so I wasn't using it that much. Right here, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to pull up the data that I was getting, so that I can compare it to my test, so that I can see what was happening. I'm just make sure I'm recording still. Great. This will this here is called an SQL query. Will just bring up you know, all the trades that I was looking at during this time. I'm gonna skip to a time that's like relevant, because not all of them are relevant. As you can see, I'm kind of testing it out here, and like CRV, which is Curve Finance, I think. I really have no bias towards these cryptocurrencies. I just kind of like test what looks good, and I want to get the 007s out, because that was just a little bit of a signal for me. And so that will get me out all this excess data that we were pulling in. We have to split this video in parts, but yeah, I'm just trying to like go through the data. Alright, so now we have it brought up, like some of the results I was seeing, and the results look kind of flipped, which makes me think like as opposed to like double, the close to more wins and losses, is like more losses than like in the flipped order of what the back test was showing me. So like that kind of gives me a clue that maybe I made a simple mistake, that like I fucked up in like the test score, like I put a greater than a sign where I should put a less than sign or something. I think it should be a pretty easy fix to find if it is that, and not just something wrong with the exchange. Because whenever you're writing code, you have to like, and you're testing it across like the real world, it's like you run into the issue of, even if you didn't even if you didn't have a bug in your code, you can somehow have like you know, some external system like that's doing something different. So for example, I remember at one point in time I was trading, and I saw that like, and I used Binance, right? I saw that you know, all the test data was using like mark price, and then there was some point, so and then like it was just supposed to take a trade that it didn't take, and you know, all it it should probably even start up. I'll start up this code. I'll start up like the bot here a little bit, because I did write it, and then like walk you guys through the code a little bit. Where is it? All right. My hope is that it kind of takes a trade. Maybe it's cool. It like takes a trade, um, and then we have something like cool to show in the video. I hope I remember this. Press. Alright, so I think this should kind of like start up something. Let's see, we're using our key lines and our averages, and it's kind of just like a bit of a mean reversion strategy. To be honest, it just like looks for like reversions on over a set time frame and like tries to play them. It's not seeing any no, right? It's basically looking for deviations are big enough to consider those possible regression signals. And so once it does find like a regression signal, it will try to take a trade for the opposite direction. And yeah, so like I don't expect this. It could take a trade. Maybe we'll be. I don't know how long we'll be running this video, but if it does do a trade, I'll try to show it up, or something. But I just leave it there and go back to what we were doing. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I see the data is kind of like flipped, like the actual results look like they're inverse of what I see in the test. So I think maybe it's like a simple mistake, but it could also be an external system. Like I was saying, there was one time where like the test was using mark price data, and I think there was somewhere in the Binance app where it was just using last price data, which is they're not usually different, but for this purposes of like trading system which are quick. They quick and like need to be a little bit precise. That can be a problem. It's not usually a problem if you're trading like DS, but once you start trading intraday, that thing can be a kind of a problem. It's not they're usually the same, but there's certain specific instances where they don't line up, and so that can be like an example of a thing where it's like the Binance was using the app itself was using a different number than what I'm used to seeing, or what the data is like actually pulling from. And that was just because I didn't realize that that was what Binance was using, because sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And then so that's an example of an external thing that's like, it's not a bug, but it can cause you to have like inconsistencies. Um, right? And guys, by no means I am by no means an expert here. I am, for the most part, learning and figuring this shit out. So, I mean, if any of you guys want to, give your insights down below, just leave a comment. Leave a comment in what you think. Send me ideas. Like what do you want? Do you have like an idea for a trading bot that could make us billions, like, just leave it down in the comments down below. And what type of trading do you do? Do you do like discretionary trading? Are you doing like MEV bots, or like spread bots, or leave a comment down below. Kind of let me know what you're doing and what do you think about these things, and general crypto comments and stuff. I do read the comments and I do reply when I think it's a sensible comment, and not just like spam or something, you know. Um, but yeah, so alright, so kind of just looking over this data. Let me see. There are this Ubuntu 86. I need to. There's some of this data that's not really useful. Like I know there are some points where I was just testing for the sake of testing, or that they were like it wasn't actual trying to see. Let's assume that it's. Let me bring back this here. Let me see if I can spot where I was doing something different. I think not. I think it's all good. Just have to check. No, no, it's 007. So once that's out, I think everything is all good. Yes, right now I'm just kind of like looking for checking the data integrity, which is a thing, as I was saying. Come on. J not equal 007. Alright, so I think that should be good. This also here should be good. All right, so I'm kind of just checking like the results, like from real world testing, from real world data collecting, which you should also do. That's like one thing I learned. Like you always want to if there's like one thing about this is me want to test, because even if you write perfect code, there can just be something like weird in there that um like it's code, so it's like amplified. If you were just doing it by hand, maybe you wouldn't have some of these things, but you have like one thing in code that's like, oh, that was a small mistake, but it compounds and it's maybe difficult to see versus whereas if you were doing it by hand, if I was collecting this data by hand, then maybe that wouldn't happen. But obviously then you get the power of code, which is just you get to run through, like you just saw me like test like 1,000 samples, right, in like a millisecond, and I could test like 2,000 more in like 2 minutes, whereas if I was doing that by hand, that would take me like probably months, you know. So um that is like the power of like being able to code as well as when you're trading. But all right, so I want to know the win loss ratio this year, because I want to see if it's like, if that stands out to me, if that's like unique or something, if it like matches up with what I'm seeing, which I already know it doesn't, but I want to know by how much. That might give me a hint as to what type of bug I'm looking for um, in this test here, because you can see there are a couple lines here. It's not like the most straightforward, simple thing. So if I can get a hint, that would be pretty helpful. Um, all right, so I know there are 86 rows. You know, there are 86 data points. I just know if I want to know, and yeah, oh my god, you can see it's like getting unstuck, which lets me think it's just like dirt or dust inside of it. Which why I haven't replaced this keyboard yet. But I do like this keyboard. I'm quite sentimental. So those equal win. All right, and this will just let me know like what is the actual like ratio of wins to losses. I hope this fucking camera does not like fall. That would be a tragedy. Okay. Um, Such a pain in the ass. Alright, so show me the money. Alright, so I can see that's like 29 out of 86. What is that? 29 out of 86. That's like 33%. So that means like the opposite is what, like 67%. Yeah, so it's literally showing me like the opposite here, because I think um so what is it, 29 minus 86, just to show 29 minus 86, that's 57 out of 86. 86, that's like 66.2%, which when I like check the the numbers here, so that's like total um 706 plus 328, so 66.2. Remember that. Hope that copied. 706 plus 328 equal 1004, and then 706 over 1034. 706 over 1034. It's close. Alright, you never expect like total precision out of these tests, but what I can see right now is that like the number is like literally flipped. There's like, it says right here it should have like about 68, 67 in that ballpark, like wins to losses, whereas right now in the actual test I see it has like that ratio to like of like losses to wins. Now I have enough data there from enough days that I don't think that's like just chance. um so I mean that tells me right here that there's probably something like in the test, possibly, that's like I made a error, like I did, like maybe calculate the wins as like losses or the losses as wins or something like that, in the test. And my ultimate objective here is to like find this, which probably will take me some time, um but kind of just having like, kind of just to have like a look through here, to see what immediately like pops out to me. So if maybe I like did wins losses or losses wins. So right here is where we calculate um, right here is where we calculate our like losses and wins. Right here is where we calculate our losses and wins, and I'm like looking to see in that function or something if I like made a simple mistake. So it's often very simple mistakes. It's usually not the hard stuff, that like you fuck up on. It's usually like the simple stuff like a greater than sign here where you meant to put a less than sign or something like that. Hopefully my power doesn't go because Jamaica here. Think we're gonna have a bit of a thunderstorm. You can see it, guys. It got real quick, dark quick behind me. So pray for the boy, But mm, right now I'm looking through this function to see. Alright, so I'm gonna check this function here to make sure we didn't do something bad. So that's the function that Unix stop. Find next candle where trade ends. Remember, that's a useful comment. High key, I kind of like have to show my comments real because like half the time I have no idea what the fuck this code is like after it's been like a couple days. But you can see if it says if direction long and it's kind of just calculating like if you win or lose. I'm just gonna make sure real quick I didn't do something stupid there. If it's not there, then like I know it's probably something a little bit more complicated, and then maybe I have to like do a part two of this video because I don't want this video to get too long, which I can see it already has. But this is like you guys know I don't edit these. I just bring you along and hope for the best. Oh, and I can already tell that the power like went away real quick because I just heard my backup power kick in, which is just telling me when the power is unstable. So if we were streaming, then I think Wi-Fi would have maybe kicked out for a second. But so I may have to like wrap this video up, pray that we don't die to like a thunderstorm. I'm just kidding. There's like zero chance, but tell that my stuff is misbehaving. I just heard my earphone disconnect from you. No, sorry. Alright, so it says if direction is long, if we're long and the low for our candle is below or equal to our stop price, then record a loss. Right, which sounds right if the direction is long and high and high greater than or equal to or high greater than or equal to our stock price. Let me just quickly make sure those are right. It's always the simple stuff. High is it should be. I know it's accurate from up here, so I'm just gonna get it from here. High is 2, low is 3, which is just their Binance data. It's 2, low is 3. Alright. If we're long and high is really equal to our take profit price, then win, which is good. If we're short and high greater than or equal to our stop. Then loss, and if we're short and less than or equal to our take profits, then that's a dub. Case of something weird, return nothing. So this all looks right to me. I don't see like an obvious mistake here. Props to myself, that code was like beautifully written and easily read. I didn't have to read a ton of things because I have no idea what these things, like it helps when the variable names are pretty good. So just now, now that I like tested like the actual look through the actual function just to make sure like at the calculation here we didn't do something simple, because it's always something simple, more simple like this. Just fine. Let's start to rain. Next rate meaning like the meaning's extended, like a pullback. So then stop loss is the higher price. And that's good. Very short that it's in the right. Let's look back here real quick to make sure. Alright, so like the calculation here looks good. I don't see any like obvious mistakes right away. Um, this is only half, and look at the other half. Um, Alright, so I don't see anything I don't see anything like super obvious right now, which makes me think. I do think it has something to do with that calculation simply because it's just too much of a big of a coincidence. It could be a data issue as well as it could be like a calculation issue as well as a data issue. I'm like pretty sure it's like one of those, or like my confidence is like higher that it's like one of those. Um, and so like simply because I think it's too big of a coincidence that it's like just so perfectly inverted. Um, but I don't see it right away. So I probably have to do like a follow up we're looking at the data. So in the next one, I guess we'll be looking through like the data just to make sure like all the data that we're looking on and the data that we're trading on is like all the same. Because I know there's a bit of like a mix up with market price versus last price there, and so I'll make sure that that's good. I don't see anything like obvious here. I'll take a look through it again. But right now, I think we'll have to save it for the next. Alright, we were at the end here, thankfully, but our recording did cut out. I don't know what's up with that. Like OBS on Ubuntu is like a little bit weird, but yeah, we didn't find anything, so we'll have to save it for the next one. Yeah, and again, guys, just to superimpose my like outro here, guys, I was like saying, leave a comment down below, like, leave a like, subscribe if you like seeing these type of things. Let me know, like, do you have like a favorite algorithm? Maybe something you want me to test, something you want me to look at. Do you guys like MEV bots? And again, if you do want something like this done, either a trading bar, like a website, the pancake stuff. I know you guys love the pancake stuff from the channel, and I do promise you, like, pancake stuff will be coming back. Maybe we make an updated like how to clone pancakes up with like all the new stuff, the new UI and all that stuff. But yeah, guys, for now, email down below, reach out if you want to apply this done. Yeah, my team will like handle it for you. I will keep looking at this and bring it back in the next one with what we find, or just going through the data. But this video is getting too long. I probably have to superimpose this intro. It's already super annoying, but it is what it is. Alright, guys, I will see you in the next one.